apologies. I've been trying to download the video from Monday. Literally since Monday, and it will not download. I think I'm going to see if I can put a ticket in to Instagram and see if they will help me. But I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed. Hello, Teresa. Also, I need to get the WhatsApp group going again because I haven't been doing the lives in there either. So, I've got a lot of things I need to catch up with. Goodness. But today we're going to do something easy peasy, okay? Because we've got a lot of brick stitch to do. And some people still have the seed stitch from the first day. So I thought we would do something a little bit easy. And that is the fern stitch, the fly stitch, and the feather stitch. So the 3 F's, okay? So I'm just going to show you really quickly where we're going to put them because we kind of have to do a little bit, if you know what I mean. So the fern stitch is going to go here in this little section. And I think it works out really easy if you can put a line down the middle of your section, okay? It helps to keep everything kind of on board, if you know what I'm saying. Then we're going to do this section here. Again, if you need to put a little line down, you can. Or you can just kind of dash it, whatever, okay? And then the very last one is going to be the section right below the one that we did on Monday, okay? And this one, you need a line down the middle. You really do. All the way to the end there, okay? If you encroach on the next one over a little bit, that's totally fine. So don't worry about that. Okay, these are going to be open stitches. So you're going to see your fabric through your stitches, okay? We're going to do all 6 strands for these 2 and then 4 strands for this one. So let's do the fern stitch first because it's just a series of straight stitches. Super, super easy. I know I say that for everyone, but it genuinely is super easy, okay? So you don't have to worry about getting anything wrong or, you know, not doing it right, quote unquote, because it's literally just 3 stitches together. The sun is trying to come out. It's been rainy today here. I don't know about you guys, but it's been really rainy where I've been. Okay, so with this one, what we're going to do is put 1 stitch down the center, like this. I will, all 6 strands. Okay, just 1 little stitch like that. Okay, and then your next one, you're going to put it up on an angle like this. And down this way. And then this one, I kind of try and match the angle, but if you can't, that's okay too. So don't worry about if it's not quite the same angle or anything like that. But that's why I like the line down the middle, because it at least keeps the line down the middle straight, you know? And then you're going to come down here to do your next one. And however far apart that you put these straight stitches is pretty much how far apart you're going to put all the rest of them, okay? So I'm just following my shape. You might think, oh my gosh, this is so tricky. It's really not tricky at all. The other thing that you can do is if you're really like, wow, I'm not good at angles, I cannot do this. You can, I promise. You can also add little stitches like this, little straight lines, okay? Again, like I was talking about with the buttonhole stitch yesterday, if you want to, you can make some closer together and some farther apart. Okay, but you're going to make this kind of pattern all the way down. That's how it's going to look. So you kind of do the same 3 the whole way, all 6 strands. So 1 up, 1 to the side, 1 to the other side. And you can do the left side first or the right side first. Well, literally doesn't matter because they're just straight stitches that make a pattern. So any kind of way that you want to do it is fine. And again, you can make these closer together or farther apart. Having an absolute nightmare with that video from the first day. I don't know what's the reason. I'm going to see if I can put a ticket in. But it will not save. It just says, couldn't be saved. Couldn't be saved. Over and over and over. So I've tried to download it. Because I don't know if you knew this, but apparently you can download videos from Instagram. If you go to the arrow, if the person has put the video available for download, you can actually download it onto your phone. So I'm going to see if I can do that with that one. Or not. We'll see. So yeah, it might be time that I look at something else for the Stitchalongs. But they always say the most expensive words in business are, we've always done it this way. So even though I've always done it this way, sometimes it's time to move on, and maybe that's it. So if anyone knows anyone else who does live videos that you get to chat with, let me know. And if you know what platform they use, let me know. So I think the most fun part is that you get to talk and ask questions as well. Like, I could just pre-record these and like put them all somewhere. You know what I mean? But that's kind of like not the point. I want to be able to like chat and you guys can ask questions. And sometimes we just talk about random stuff. And sometimes it's actually about embroidery. Make sure you're going down that same hole there. Not to the side of it or just underneath of it. So yeah, if anyone knows, obviously I'll do my own research as well, but it might just be the time to say goodbye. The chat is everything. See, I think so as well. And you know what? Someone said that you can do it in the WhatsApp group to do a video. But those don't save at all. Someone said something about Patreon a long time ago, but I didn't want to start that whole thing because Patreon takes a part of the money. So there's that. And I don't know if you can have a chat with that one, but I haven't really looked into it. Like, I kind of just, was like, no, it's fine how it is. Like, I don't need to change anything. Now with summer camp, we're going to do Teams meetings. So I'm just sorting that out and making all the links and stuff and doing a couple sample ones so that I know that they'll work. We'll see. We'll see. But it's incredibly frustrating because I know you guys want them on YouTube. I know you guys don't like watching them on Instagram. And it started on Instagram as just I know Katie Moody does lives with chat. She's on Patreon, but I don't know where her live is hosted. Interesting. I feel like I need to write her name down because I'm going to forget that name in like 2 seconds. Yeah, I was like, as long as I can like download them after, that would be great. You know what I mean? Because then I could put them on YouTube afterwards. But my issue is that for some reason, not all of the things are downloading now. And it used to be that as long as the video was under an hour on Instagram, they would download. So sometimes if we were like really into something or having a chat or whatever, I would just start a new video. I don't mind them on Instagram either, but some people do not like watching them on Instagram, and they've told me how much they hate it many, many times. Like, I'm sorry, but that's like, I'm literally doing my best. You know what I mean? Okay, so that is fern stitch. Okay, we're gonna do fly stitch now. I tend to not like fern stitch because I think it's a bit tedious with the three stitches. So let's do this one. Okay, down here. Let's move this over so we can get a good. Let's see if I do it like that. Yeah, that'll be good. Okay, so let me pick a blue. A nice blue color, maybe a really dark blue, like a super dark blue, because then it won't matter that you can't see it like some of the other stitches. It will matter if you can't see it really well. Okay. And you should have, if you go to my Instagram page and click the video tab, when you watch a video, if you click the video, on the bottom there should be like a little white bar at the very bottom, and you can take your finger and slide it along. But I know that not everyone has that, and sometimes it doesn't work properly, so I do understand. I do get it. You can just tell I'm feeling frustrated right now. Feeling the pressure. Okay, so with this one, we're going to do this one here first, and then we're going to come down here and do the feather stitch. Now, I think I've only taught the feather stitch like one time, okay? That doesn't mean I don't teach it well. It's just that you're probably thinking, feather stitch, the feather stitch. And that's because I think I've done it once or twice, like that's it. I thought maybe I had a sample next to me that had it, but I can't even remember what Stitchalong it was, but I remember I've taught it once before. So when we do the fly stitch, the feather stitch is going to look really similar. It's just going to be kind of one-sided, okay? So let's do the fern one first. What you're going to do is do your same one stitch down the middle like this. Can you see that clearly? Okay, now you're going to come up on either the left side or the right side, doesn't matter what side. Okay, and then go down on the other side. So for this one, we're actually going to come up and go down on this line, on each of these lines. So if you come up on the left, you want to come up on the left line, and if you go down on the right, on the line, okay? And then same if you switch it, if you want to go down on the other side. Just make sure that it's on the line, okay? So for this one, now we're going to come up and leave a loop, and you're going to come up right at the bottom where you made your first little stitch there, okay? Now I'm going to say this again. It doesn't matter how close together or far apart that you want to make these. You can make them quite far apart and have a lot of space, or you can make them super, super close together and have almost no space, like this one. So this is the same stitch that we're going to do, except it's closed fly stitch. And when you do it this way, you stack them next to each other with just a really, really tiny, tiny, tiny stitch in the middle. So for this one, we're going to make a little stitch, but we're going to make it this a little bit longer, okay? So it's going to look a little bit more like the fly stitch. Or sorry, the fern stitch, okay? It's going to look like that. So if you would rather not have so much fabric showing, okay, then you can make them closer together, meaning these right here. So if you put one here, that's as far as your things would be. If you put one way down here, wherever you put this, they're going to be really, really spaced out. Yeah? Do you get it? I'm going to put mine like that. Okay. So again, up on this side of the line, and then down on this side of the line. And you want your stitch on the bottom to come down lower than where these two stitches are. So when you make your straight stitch down the middle, so if we just have let me get out a little, I used to have one called the sword. Who was here for the sword? Because people who have been here a really long time would know about my sword needle that I used to use. I've just remembered that. Oh my goodness. But I used to have this really big needle that I would call the sword, and I would like show people stuff with it. So basically you do your first stitch, okay? You want the next two stitches to make your loop to be higher than the bottom part of this. And that's how you get that V shape, okay? If you put them next to it, it would make a line and it wouldn't actually catch like a V, okay? So that's why we want to put them up higher than the bottom of that. Again, hoping that makes sense. But when people have problems with the fly stitch, that's normally the problem that they have. It's not that they can't do the stitch or that they don't know how to do the stitch. It's the placement of the stitches is just a bit too, you've got to have these side stitches be taller than the middle one. Yeah? And that's why I said to do the line down the middle, because I feel like it helps because we've got a curvy line here. And this is the same hole. You don't want to leave a gap there. So we're going to do this one all the way down. And then the next one we're going to do is a feather stitch. And for the feather stitch, we're only going to use 4 strands. So if you would like to start prepping 4 strands now, you can. I've already prepped mine. It's going to be a light blue color. Like a really light blue color. It's like a sky blue, I guess. What's happening here? There we go. Now, I personally love the fly stitch more than the fern stitch. I've already told you. I find the fern stitch a bit tedious, like doing the 3 straight stitches. It's easy, but I just find it a bit much, where this one is 2 stitches and you get the same kind of look for like much quicker. So if you get any of my patterns, you'll notice I tend to not do the fern stitch, but you can if you want to. You can always, if you don't like a fly stitch for whatever reason, you can always swap it out for something else. And it's the same with any of these stitches. If you don't like what the stitch that I'm going to teach, you can always do a different one. Okay. Right, so we're nearly done with this one, and then we're going to go straight to the other one. Now with the other one, it's a little bit hard to visualize if you don't have a line down the middle, okay? So go ahead and add that in if you haven't already. And then just to finish this one here, we'll do a tiny little straight stitch and then a knot on the end. So literally finish that one, straight stitch, and then knot on the back, okay? So again, super easy. Anyone can do it. I mean, unless you don't have like hands or something, you know? That's a bit daft to say, because I suppose some people have like arthritis or something and they might find it difficult, so I probably should not say that. Okay, let's go on to the feather stitch. So the feather stitch is like this. All right, you gotta have your line down the middle. So I've done mine in my Air erasable pen. It's like almost gone now. But it's fine, it's fine. Don't worry. Just doing a knot, and then we will get started per usual. Man, it's hot up here. Okay, so for this one, it's a little bit hard to grasp, only because normally we do one stitch and then another stitch to kind of finish it, okay? So I'm going to talk about stitches that we haven't quite learned yet, but kind of like the detached chain stitch, you do a stitch and then you use a stitch to secure that stitch. This is more like a blanket stitch or a buttonhole stitch, where you use the stitches to secure the stitches that you're doing as you're doing them, okay? So it's not just one standalone thing. You kind of go left and then go right and then go left and go right, and that's kind of like the rhythm of the stitch, okay? It's going to make sense once I do it, all right? I promise. But you're going to be like, what? I promise you it's going to make sense, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to come down here in the middle. Let me just push this down a little bit. Move that out the way. Push it down. Something is like just not as tight as it normally is. I can feel it moving all over when I'm doing my stitching. Right, so I've just used a little bit smaller, less threads. I've used 4 instead of 6, just so it didn't get super bulky down here. Remember what I was talking to you about, the highlighter that's really thick and then trying to fill in a small space with it? You're not going to be able to read your words, yeah? So this is kind of the same thing as we get lower. All right, so we're going to start here at the very top, and you're going to go to the left, okay? Just trust me. And it's going to be quite high, all right? So almost the same over here. I'm going to make it a little bit higher even, like that. Okay, leave your loop, and you're going to come up on this line right here, all right? Like that. Okay, now hold that, and we're going to make another loop. So what you're going to have to do is put it down on the right side. Okay, now hold that and come up in the middle. Now you're going to go back to the left side up here. Again, you kind of want it to be higher, so it makes these little V's, okay? Hold it, and you're going to come up on the line. Okay, hold it to the right, up here. Hold it on the line. Do you see the rhythm now. Okay. Now this is pretty far spaced apart because I want you to be able to see it. You can actually make these a lot closer just by making these right here not as long. Same as this one. Yeah? So over here to the left for this one. And then back up on the line. Now the stitches will naturally get smaller as you go closer down to, you can't really see but I'm pointing to the thinner part. You'll have to. And we're really kind of tucking this up under this right here that we've done. So put it way up under there. Okay. Don't give me a knot now. Oh, it's a stupid kind of one too. Okay, and then now to this side. Has anyone done a feather stitch before? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Like I said, as you get lower, the stitches are going to be closer together. You can go into this, I made mine a bit thick, this line. So if you need to go into that line a little bit, you can. And there you go. And when we finish it, we'll finish it just like the end of, basically like the end of this. Just put a little straight stitch down. And then you'll be done. So I'm going to put just a straight stitch down here on the edge. And you're finished. So there we go. We've done feather, fern, and fly. Or a closed fly if you don't want to like see the space between your stitches. There we go. What was your favorite one of the three? Let me know. I always find it so interesting because people always like different ones. So my favorite is the fly stitch, but this one's quite nice as well. It just has a bit of a different, like an offset. You still got the line down the middle, but it's just offset. Yeah. Instead of having them even on each side. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed. I'm off to try and download that other video. And yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. All right. Bye.